I'm last. That's all I need to know. Good.
Hello. Welcome all to another morning of Sunday morning speed runs. I'm very excited because last week we kind of destroyed the world or remade the world or who knows what. So now we have to decide whether we're playing in, the City of Fire and Coin or the City of Fire and Corn Prime. It's going to be rad. I'm Sean Dittner. I use he, him pronouns. And I'm going to be playing Teclic, who also uses he, him pronouns. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to title him Teclic, Wizard Apprentice, Teclic Lost in Space, or Teclic Elder God. One of those. We'll see whatever movie hits me. So, yay!
Yay! I'm Najo Tikor. I am streaming from Blue Jay's apartment for the last time, probably. I will be playing Aya of the Tide, Moon Witch extraordinaire. Like Teclic, I don't know if it will be voiceless Aya, voiced Aya who just doesn't feel like talking to you, or Aya who is only capable of shrieking. We'll find out. It's fine. It's all fine. Me and my character use she, her pronouns.
Hi, Misha. She, her pronouns. I'm playing Phaedra of the Lumarine, wielder of death and dishonor. I apparently missed something.
A whole thing happened.
Yeah.
I think Naja said last time that was a whole ass snack.
It was a whole ass snack.
So we'll see what destruction has been wrought in the world and what we can do.
Excellent. I'm Epi. I use he, him. I will be the overplayer. And I also missed last. I watched it and I scried it. So I have a good idea of what my seer was interested in what happened. I feel like this is a moment where I should, like, if this were a movie, this would be like the moment where I go, "You don't need me anymore," and then just fade into the background.
None of us know what happened.
Yeah, no Obi-Waning on us right now.
Yeah. But I actually, because of how up and big last time went, I have a kind of an idea, which we don't have to follow, but an idea of going low key this time and trying to see like what's a fun little jazz, like just a little relaxing adventure for our roads. We'll see what happens. I mean, like that's not a thing we need to do. I'm just going to try and start it that way, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, if you don't open with like the jaws of the cosmos trying to consume us, then
you're automatically lower key than last time.
Right. Exactly.
It's fine. I'm in the Slice of Life coffee shop AU.
Yeah.
Exactly. I like Tattoo Shop AU too. It's also
a
little more spicy.
Okay.
Can we all think it? Yeah, like I don't even know if Teclic's carapace can be tattooed, but I'd be willing to try and find out. Cool wizard tattoos are definitely an important thing. Adam has taught me this. So
all right. Should we jump to it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's my sound effect for changing scenes. So everybody like that.
We are on the map, or on the playing surface here, right?
Yep.
All right. Ooh, okay. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, do you think? Oh, dice are on the board.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to make this first roll for the overtone, and then I am going to hit go on the stopwatch. All right. I'm going to go jovial.
Is that a dealer's choice there?
Yeah, dealer's choice. When you roll a tie on the very first roll, you get to do it.
If it's of any consequence, a tie would normally flip the overtone, and last time the overtone ended as glum. So I call it
perfect.
Legit.
That's perfect.
Although I would call it legit either way. But
yeah.
Justification for making a joke.
It's unfathomable.
Yeah, exactly.
Entire sessions just us
yeah.
unable to talk to each other.
Some Dada film. Just
Okay, so we have a collection of rogues here that all three of you have not been together at the same time. So I'm going to put you all together. You are at, all right. It is hot out. The shimmering heat coming off of the sands. You are at an oasis in the middle of a large desert that, goes to each horizon. Around this oasis are 3 pillars of marble, like deep green and brown colored marble with serpent heads on top, of course. And I have to give you a thunder. The thunder is that you're not alone at this oasis, but everything else that's here, the animals, the people, are all lying on the ground dead. It is clear that they have been poisoned by something. I'm going to start this as a rogue phase, but but you folks are excited to be here because you've been traveling very long and you could use the rest and relaxation, and there's an opportunity for water, and you've been out of water for many days. So I am going to hand the dice to Nadja. I'm going to hand it to Aya of the Tide, and this is a rogue's phase. I'm going to make a demand of you. Show us how you make this poisoned water sweet to drink again.
Okay. Well, I don't.
All right, so we're going to go glum. And tell us how you failed to do that.
Goodness. I think Aya reaches into her robes and she pulls out her mirror, and like her back is to everyone and no one can see this, but she freezes and she's staring at it, and like the camera kind of gets closer to her and looks over her shoulder, and the mirror is cracked.
Ooh.
And Aya is at a complete loss, and she looks to Hex, and Hex like immediately disclaims all responsibility for this, and her familiar refraction is nowhere to be seen. Refraction, she looks around for it, and they're not around, and she's just like, she turns and holds up her mirror like, what?
But she doesn't say what. She just holds it up.
No,
like
she
what?
just holds it up. It's a very like a sad mime sort of action.
Yeah.
And is this for us to see, or is this also just like in the camera's view, and we're all seeing your back and can't tell what's happening?
It's for everyone. She shows it to everyone. Her mirror has been cracked. To click chick, I'll pass the. Do I need to make a moral or mystery for this?
No, this is just a straight up stymie. Okay. You just failed, and it escalated obviously because you have a cracked mirror. So that's great.
Yeah.
So to click chick, show us how your nascent sorcery could be of use in this situation.
To click chick's antennas kind of go up when you're when he sees your cracked mirror, and you see his eyes scanning it very, very closely. They're kind of darting back and forth. And
you gotta roll.
Yeah.
And, oh, right. Thank you.
We can't all be stymied forever.
I know.
You can dig yourself a hole. Oh, it's a moral, but you are glum, and you can do it.
And I can do it. Okay. Well, to click chick is unfathomable. So,
that's right. You're unfathomable.
Yeah. So it's a weird trick to choose. So I mean, I'm gonna fucking go all full on Fremen here. To click chick goes and sort of stabs a short like incisor into one of the dead that is here, and as their blood spills, he sort of moves his forearms around in this sort of like cosmic kind of like constellation like formation, and then holds an empty a flask out, or an empty canteen out underneath them. And as the blood kind of like spills out of the body, it separates out into like 3 streams. There are like the blood itself, the poison, and then the water that's been come out of them. We see the body kind of shrivel up, and as the body shrivels up, the water like drips into the canteen, and then he holds it out like it's ostensibly, presumably, safe, potable drinking water. Phaedra, show us how you discover. Show us how you use death and dishonor to, or show us. Well, show us how you figure out where our contact is hiding amongst all these people who have died.
Okay.
Now, before you roll, I just make sure, because we need a moral to click chick.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that there's a consequence there that is a good consequence. And I think unseen to click chick, the poison stream has like gone into your satchel or something, like you've set some things down on the sand and it's soaked in some poison, so you're carrying poison somewhere on your person that
I love it. Did I fail to narrate because of getting a lower result, or is that
the way it works with morals? If you roll a moral, you're allowed to come up with the consequence, but if you can let the overplayer do it, or if the overplayer is like, we don't have enough of a consequence, they're allowed to come in and say,
got it,
here's something more, which is what I did there.
I did not have a consequence. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Now you get to write a moral about it.
Yeah.
But now we're on to Phaedra.
All right, so we're so glum.
So happy to be at this oasis.
So Phaedra takes the offered canteen and sips from it. Figure it. You're gonna die from thirst. You're gonna die. One or the other. And passes it on after she quenches her thirst and is looking around. And she's like walking around and nudging the bodies to see if anybody is actually alive, versus just laying there and almost dead. And she nudges one and it lets out a groan, and she like kneels down to like pulse, and eyes are gross and black, and there's a trickle of blood coming out of their mouth, and she's like, what happened, or what's going on here? And it answers with just a single word. Nemo.
Oh.
It dies.
I'm ending that phase there because that's good. What's that? Can you spell the word in the chat there? So
Yeah.
And it whispers, coffee shop AU.
Yeah. All right. And that's nice. I am going to roll for the next phase here. I'm not going to do discovery phase because I think we're on to that. Oh, it's jovial. All right. All right. Same place that evening.
We're not like place. We're hanging. This is the coffee shop. No.
You're now like leaned up against some of these pillars, and you have in the distance a big like pyre going with all the bodies, because something has to be done with and dealt with these bodies. It's an oasis, so they had like a palm tree or two or that you could use to create the fuel for the fire. And you're all sitting there, with the contact that you've come to see, who is hurting pretty badly, but is now up and conscious because you've managed to force some water down his throat and whatnot. He has shared his supply of ironweed with you, and
Yes.
and now you are all partaking. I need some thunder. Well, okay, so the night is growing cold because that's what happens in the desert, but you're keeping warm because you've got these fires going. And what you don't see is that there are shadows on the far side of like the firelight that are approaching now. But right now we're in they're keeping their distance right now. We're in discovery phase. So I'm going to hand this back to Phaedra because you made a friend here. You can go ahead, and as a discovery phase, you roll first, and you come up with something about the world that doesn't have to do with what we're doing here, just whatever you want, and you get to ask me a leading question about it. Should roll first, though.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what question I want to ask. So glum.
I'm trying to cheer you people up.
We're trying to get to fluffy happy town, and it's not going there.
It's okay. We can have sad times at the coffee shop at you. Like it could be like my rent and my.
And glum doesn't have to be sad. You could just be sitting there quietly content with your ironweed and the lovely starry night.
All right, so I look over and notice as our contact lifts his arm and his sleeve falls back, and he has this intricate tattoo going up his arm. What does it mean, over player?
Oh. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so you're obviously familiar with several secret languages of tattoos, and the thing about his tattoo that is of interest to you is that it's almost like secret language of tattoo poetry, where it has one obvious meaning, but then another meaning that's very clear in a different secret language of tattoo, and another meaning that's very clear in yet a third. And very few people would know all three of these. So he is well-traveled and tied into a lot of societies that are trying to keep their presence secret, but need to show off that they belong to them. We're going to keep this phase going. So is that a good answer to your question? Or do you need a little more?
No, it's good.
And then you can hand the dice to someone else to make a discovery.
Naja, let us see what Aya finds out.
Roll.
Yeah.
Roll. Thank you.
Finds out what her tone is.
Oh, well, so you get to be. We're going to go glum again because that's what happens, and then you get to tell us what she should know or see or find out, but doesn't.
Okay, so Aya is staring in her cracked mirror, attempting to scry. For this information about this Nemo. And she really ought to be able to see something at the very least. But what she finds is she finds something false about Nemo and the situation there. And I'm supposed to ask you a question about this business.
Yeah, and this will be something that you should know, but nobody will actually know. We'll know as audience, but not your characters.
Okay. So what falsehood does she discover about Nemo?
Oh.
That she doesn't know is false.
Yeah. You believe that Nemo is among the corpses that are currently burning in the fire, but obviously Nemo is not, because that's how Nemo is.
So she's nodding at her mirror and just kind of sighs in relief, like,
yeah, right. You're perfectly safe.
Right.
Whoever did this, they got themselves with it, so it's fine.
It'll be fine. No problems.
Yeah.
I am passing the dice to click check.
Yeah.
I will remember to roll. Try to do that thing. Too many options on the jam mode. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You get a moral. This seems to be a pattern.
So, but it's a jovial moral.
Yes.
Awesome. So, ride me in discovery phase, because I've been hosting, but haven't been playing as much.
Sure.
I am going to discover a thing.
Yeah. You either discover it now or remember something. You're just going to tell us something about the world through your character's experiences or knowledge.
Right.
And the moral, you can definitely, oftentimes in the discovery phase, it's hard to like come up with your own morals. So you can definitely rely on the overplayer here.
Awesome.
But you will ask me a question about this thing that you discover.
Okay, sounds good. So Tiklikchik is, I think our food supplies were also low. So Tiklikchik has harvested this like desert cactus that he's cooking. Unfortunately, next to the pie. No, there's a campfire. It's not that gross. And he's looking like very like excited that he's gonna share this treat with his friends. So his antennae are all alight as he's like barbecuing over the flame, like holding out with like 4 different arms. Each one's got a little stick of this cactus that he's like cooking over the fire. He's got an apron on for who knows where it came from. Trying for this this jovial, and he hands a skewer off to each of his companions, and he's got a 4th one, but obviously the contact Nemo is not here because they're in the fire, as according to Aya's mirror. So there's just this sort of extra mirror. And my question is, based on where we were able to round up this food from, where might somebody in this desert be hiding that they could find safe refuge? Where might someone else take advantage of this resource?
Excellent. All right. Yeah. Wait, I forget. Did you describe what the food is from? If not, I have an idea which will answer this.
I described that it was from a desert cactus, but frankly, I'm fine with it coming from anywhere. I'm just thinking if we were able to find this desert cactus, someone else might also be living off of it. And
yeah. Okay, yeah, no, that works. Okay. So I think this is one of those where you go along and you, at some point on your journeys to this oasis, you've come across a desert cactus, and it was an exciting thing. So you pick the fruits from it, and you whatever, you take what you need from it, and you feel like this is a bountiful harvest that we have gotten from the desert. But just over the dune that you didn't see from where you were, there's just like a sea of them. and there's like
We're all starving. It's just,
yeah, and I think that inside where that sea of them are, there's just a whole just a whole collection of ne'er-do-wells who have secret language tattoos and whatnot that are hanging out there, and they were all super quiet when that happened because they had a lookout up on top of the dune that saw you guys go by, right? So but this has got to be something that you would know. Well, yeah, you know this. You're like, wait a minute, these cactuses don't grow on their own, and that would be the perfect place for that somewhere in these deserts hide these bands of outlaws, and that they like to live off of these cactuses. So yeah, that's definitely something I am going to take the dice from you. I'm going to end that phase. I'm going to roll again and try and figure out what phase we're in.
nice.
Oh, good. I'm glum now. Maybe you guys will cheer up.
Don't think that's how it works.
I think Tiklichuk took the last skewer and pointed up towards the mountaintop. He's still wearing his apron. This is happy times.
Oh, okay. So we're not leaving this oasis yet. You're at the oasis.
Stuck in this oasis.
It's deeper into the night. The fires have all burned down. There's embers in the air. You are all somewhat foggy-headed from the ironweed, and but you're sated. You've had your drinks, and you had your water, and you had your food, and you have all dispersed from the oasis and found ways to hide in the sand. I'm going to pull the dice away because the thunder is that one of you, let me say, I'm going to go with Phaedra. Phaedra, everyone else had to dig their way into the sand, but you found what is essentially some sort of desert predator has left a nested cave that they've made in the sand and camouflage it, and you're hiding in that one. That's the thunder. You are currently awaiting whatever you expect as an ambush after what Tiklichuk recalled about the desert. So I am going to hand the dice. I'm going to hand it back to Tiklichuk. Show us how you're preparing to ambush these people who are obviously going to attempt to ambush you. The old double ambush.
The old ambush the ambushers. Are we in a rogue's phase?
Yes, rogue phase, yes.
Okay, cool. All right, let's see how awful this is. Okay.
That's not awful at all.
just glumly or just unfathomably. All right, so Tiklichuk sort of walks over from the pyre and rips a log out that's been burning, and it's all blackened and it's all blackened and half burnt, but he douses it into the sand to put out the flames, and the pyre kind of creaks a little bit because of pulling out this one long beam that he the support, and then he jabs it into the sand next to where they had been standing, and takes some ironweed, and it looks at first like it's this horrible kind of artifice that it doesn't seem to be anything in particular, but as he puts as he slowly and carefully places the ironweed in various places, you can see that up close this looks nothing. This looks like some sort of abomination, but at a distance in the shadows, it looks like a four-armed creature standing over the fire, still cooking away. Because it's all stick-like, and so he creates a ruse as though he's still Phaedra,
Mhm.
show us how you capture one of the ne'er-do-wells when they attempt to ambush us.
Alrighty.
Oh, good. There's going to be a moral to this, but I think that should be easy.
So Phaedra's yeah, there's a moral there. She's hiding in this den, and one of them sneaks by on their way to get into position, and she reaches out and grabs him and pulls him back into the den with her, hand over his mouth so he can't make any sound, as she holds a dagger to his throat and whispers in his ear, "If you make a single sound, it will be the last thing you ever do." And then she hears this horrible roaring coming from behind her, as the thing that she assumed was not in the cave comes roaring past the cave, and we run like hell towards Click Chick and the pyre and the massive critter that he's building, dragging said brigand with her.
Excellent.
So the moral of the story is, make sure your cave is empty
That's good. You could
before
write
you
that.
hide in it.
There we go.
I'll put that in for you.
I'm out of here.
Okay.
So Nadia, Aya, tell us how you managed to dispatch the beast that comes roaring out of Phaedra's cave.
Jovially.
Nice.
How uncharacteristic. Aya has not been able to repair her mirror, but the camera cuts over to her and she's beaming because she's managed to call refraction back. And refraction is now not a single entity. Refraction is now two. And it has taken on the form of let's say, what even is this beast? Does it matter? Do we know? Do we care?
You can make it up if you want.
I
don't know.
Grows in the desert. That's all we know.
I think it's let's see, we've done scorpion, we've done snake.
I feel like big spider, desert spider. Awesome.
Yeah, giant desert spider. I'm about that.
I like a roaring desert spider too. There's just something super chilling about that. Yeah.
And refraction takes on one form is a hawk, and the other form is a dove. And both of these things together are refraction, and she is delighted with this. She's learned something new about her magic and her familiar, and this is all very exciting. And then she realizes that there's actually a problem going on outside of her hiding spot, and she points toward this roaring desert spider, and refraction, the two halves of it kind of circle around each other and then dart off parallel to carry this like the spider is rearing up with its two forelimbs, and they latch onto it and start dragging it away.
Excellent.
Yeah. And I she's smiling. She actually claps and looks at Hex like, isn't this cool? And Hex is just kind of baffled and maybe terrified at this new development with the familiar.
I kind of want to end the phase there, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Because I want a perilous phase. I think this is great. Oh, that's not what I wanted for a perilous phase. That's great. That's good. All right, so I'm glum. Okay.
Still in the Oasis.
Yeah. Midnight at the Oasis. That's what's... No, you're not. I'm going to make you further down this desert road. It's the lot of you. There's Aya and Tiklikchik and Phaedra and Hex and Refraction and your contact who's slowing you down because he's hurt, and the brigand that you had captured who's slowing you down because that's his job. And I think so you're now far away from the fires. It's that thing where you've been moving. Well, the rest of you, I guess, Tiklikchik won't feel this, but the rest of you feel this thing where it's like you've been moving and exerting yourself, so you're sweating, but it's also so cold out that it's like it feels feverish, and you're just slumping down and trying to find like a place where you can rest and hide, because your ambush of the ambush was ambushed by a roaring desert spider.
It's okay, I ambushed it.
Yeah, exactly.
The old triple ambush.
Yeah.
That's
So
quite helpful at that point.
my thunder is definitely the condition that you're all in. You're not at your peak. You're not at your prime. You're looking for a place to sit down and rest. I think I'm gonna hand the dice. I'm gonna hand them to Phaedra here. And I'm doing a perilous phase, so I'm going to bring a storm, which is you've sat down again to rest. There's no lamp, or like as far as you can see, it's like desert to the horizon, and then a cloudless sky filled with stars above you. And you don't have any light because you don't want to give yourself away. So the only way you can see anybody approaching is by looking at the stars on the horizon twinkle in and out as like silhouettes move around. So you're standing rear guard while everyone else is trying to rest, and you just see one by one like all of the stars on this horizon. Is there a moon out? Do we establish that there's more than one moon in this world, right? Like we've established that. It seems like a thing that
I mean,
That feels true.
depending on the
even
timeline.
if we didn't, it should be.
yeah, exactly.
I
Okay.
mean, the moon may have been eaten by a giant abyss monster,
But there's more of them, it's fine.
Yeah.
but there's more.
So in honor of the recent blood moon, we've got like just like a low red moon hanging that's giving you enough light that you can see just a red kind of a dark red around you coming out of sands. Okay, so what I do here in this phase is that I tell you about these things, these horrible things that are happening. When you want to interrupt me, you go ahead and roll the dice. Everyone is allowed to tell me how they're slipping and struggling with it, but only the person with the dice is allowed to actually succumb or overcome what's happening. So I'm going to have some desert brigands creep in the sand up. I think they're going to try and get past Phaedra. They're not going to try and deal with her. They're trying to again, as their mode is to ambush. So they're trying to get up and around you. They've come from chasing you, and now you've rested, and they're doing like low moving in the sand, much like a desert snake would. There's some on the perimeter that I think, like as you watch these stars go out, you have an idea. You can hear like little shifting in the sand. You can hear that there's some that are coming up around you, heading towards the larger group, which is on the other side of the dune that you're standing on. All right, I'm going to keep going.
I think the one that we have captive, if he senses his friends coming and like goes to move, Tiklikchik tries to like catch him again if he bolts off, but he's so weary that his feet get poor purchase on the sandy ground, and he like slips, and like one arm is about to grab the thing, and instead his cloak tears, and the one that we had captive starts to get away.
Yeah, I love that. So yeah, he's running across the kicking up sand behind him as he's running across. I'm gonna say, if this is all right with you, Phaedra, that you that attracts your attention. That you look, and what you don't see is that behind you, once that attracts your attention, the red glint of the moon off of a dagger as it's being drawn from somebody who's in the sands, waiting to lunge at you. I'm gonna. You're okay with that, or you?
Yeah.
All right. So they lunge.
They lunge.
They kick up a bunch of sands, jump up at you with a dagger. They're going to try and stab you through. You're going to slip and struggle with it. Oh, you're rolling. Yes.
Yeah. Ooh, really. My attention got distracted momentarily from the scene by seeing the brigand run past, and I throw one dagger at him, and it hits him in the back square, and he falls. But I hear the shifting of the sand behind me and whirl just in time to get a dagger up and block the one that's coming down.
Nice.
Was death the one that killed the brigand, and now you're wielding dishonor? Yeah.
Excellent. All right. If that's where you want to stop what you're doing, I can continue to bring. Excellent.
We'll see. Let's see Nadia slip for a while, or I slip for a little while.
So at that point, then it's oh no, I'm still glum. You're jovial. I'm glum. There's a. Oh, you just hear the quiet strum of bowstrings, and you can, some stuff whistling in the air and hitting the sand. And I'm going to, the first one hits like right near where you're sitting, Aya. Like you just see a short, small little desert arrow. I keep adding desert to everything because we're in a desert. It doesn't have to be a desert here. Just an arrow, the kind of arrow that works in any kind of environment.
Just a regular arrow. I don't know. Whenever you do Space Adventures, you just call things like space.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
Legit. So
I mean, like this is like this is more of like a hunting arrow, though. It's not like an arrow made for war. This is more of like hunting small beasts. Like you get up close to it and you hit it with the so whoever shot it was near, then not like a long distance thing. While that's happening, several other arrows are pin-cushioning the ground, including a certain cricket warrior that is lying across the ground. Because you fell, or did you fall?
Yeah.
To
he lunged for their captive because he saw him starting to run, but he slipped, and so he just barely caught the edge of it, and he stumbled. So yeah, he definitely fell over. Yeah.
So these arrows are sinking into the sand, and I'm gonna let you choose how you want to slip and struggle with that. But I'm definitely shooting arrows at you.
Yeah. I think one of them definitely like gets inside of his carapace, and you see him, squirm and struggle, and some green blood spurts out as one like pierces right between another one bounces off the carapace, but the one that gets lucky and got through like pins him in the shoulder, and one of his forearms kind of goes limp and like twitches and twists. Strangely, it's some like Aya knows that he's like it's like maybe it's just a twitch, but it does look like he was giving them the bird a little bit.
Yeah,
like that's a sign.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. That was the archers. Now the rest with the daggers. It's like all these tiny stars showing up on the desert sands as the daggers are drawn from their scabbards, and they come running in. Their quiet feet on the sands. I am all right. I'm going to come right at Hex. Wait, Hex is just a Hex doesn't take forms. Refraction does, right? Or
refraction. Hex is just a person.
Yeah.
They don't understand. That's the whole thing.
I'm gonna have one of these brigands. She grabs Hex from behind and just is holding the dagger out this way and is coming down, like putting her hand over Hex's mouth to like keep from screaming out. But
I will roll.
yeah.
Jovial.
Yay!
So I this entire time it's been staring at this blood moon, mesmerized by it almost. But when the brigand touches Hex, Aya feels it on her own body, and her head snaps over to where this brigand has grabbed her apprentice. And she opens her mouth, and this shriek rips forth into the air at this brigand. Like everybody, it's like a crack of thunder. And it snaps at this brigand, and their arm is like thrown back, and the dagger goes flying from their hand.
That's great. We've got shrieking Aya. That's awesome.
Shrieking Aya. I just decided.
Yeah, I'm calling that our third motif from the roaring, bringing back the
oh yes,
the roaring
perfect.
desert spider, and that puts us in end game.
All right, so we can reincorporate as we narrate what's happening here. All right, I'm gonna. I'm still glum. Oh my god, it's so hard for me to be glum in this fight. Okay, yeah. So you have the dice. You can pass them whenever you want. I am turning my attention back to Phaedra though, because Phaedra is in the middle of a nice little dagger fight with a brigand. Do you have like a particular style, Phaedra? Like, is there like have you trained in a certain way, or is it?
Her style is very circular, so lots of sweeping and swirling.
Okay, that's great. I think because I want to just like get a good like look at this, where this person is absolutely very utilitarian. Like I've got a thing that's pointy. I'm going to put it in something and keeps making all of these like thrusts at you. And you do the, but you only have one dagger right now.
Yes, I do. I'm down to one. All right. Just making it a little difficult for me.
So yeah, while this person's doing that, 3 more come up and they're starting to surround you, right? And they're taking these. This is the thing that maybe you would be able to deal with quite nicely with both death and dishonor. Mm-hmm. But right now, you just have dishonor, and they keep making clumsy but effective lunges at you as you go. Do any of them get at you? Do they?
I think one gets inside my guard and slices open my side. Spilling blood, but it's enough of an opening that I can wrest his dagger from him. So now I'm back to 2.
Nice.
But he doesn't have any.
Great. Okay. So Tiklichik, you have the dice. You're aware of that, right? Just making sure.
Oh no, I wasn't. Thank you.
It's okay. Because I was just gonna kill Phaedra right here while you just sat there watching. But
yeah, that sounds fantastic.
No, killing Phaedra doesn't sound fantastic.
No, that sounds terrible.
Tiklichik just nods unfathomably.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Like
this was written.
This is all going according to plan.
So until you roll, this is what's going to happen. One of the brigands has it's like a shepherd's hook, and sweeps it in on the ground and pulls out one of Phaedra's legs so that the others can jump on her.
Nice. I think I would like to roll.
Yeah,
that
seems like a good spot to roll.
That sounds like a good spot to roll. Let's see. Oh, another moral. How?
Well, if you reincorporate, you don't have to have a moral.
Oh, thank you. Okay, excellent. Because I'm just like, we're moraling this thing up. Yeah.
Fuck.
And you're unfathomable.
Yeah, exactly. So So Tuklikchik, like bug-eyed as he is, because he's a bug, stands there and lets this whole thing happen. And Phaedra sees him just sort of standing, like not necessarily coming to her guard. And so when she gets pulled out, or when her leg does get pulled out, and she's defenseless for a moment, it appears as though he's not come to her aid in any way. But she sort of last moment, she, as the brigands are all just about to jump on her, she just keeps going because Tuklikchik has knocked aside the brigand that has the hook, and he is now holding it and pulls her away from like this mob safety. And so the two of them stand side by side for a moment as we see the one with the shepherd's hook splayed out on the ground, the arrow that pierced Tuklikchik stuck in his stuck in his chest. And I don't pass the dice.
You can end the phase, or you can hold on to the dice, or you can pass them. You get all the options in the world.
Oh man, I got all the options.
But only the person who rolled the dice can end the phase. None of us can say this is done.
Yeah. No, I think this is done. Yeah, I'm in the phase.
All right.
Let me give them back to you, Abby, and we'll
let's figure this out. Okay, I know what I'm going to do here. Wait, I don't know what I'm going to do because I got to roll the dice first, and they're going to tell me that I'm glum. Okay, we're gonna play glum as that sad music that plays as a battle is turning against you, and the tide is it's a little slow motion. You don't hear anything. You just see as people are falling back. Let's see here. What do I have? So we're going to do a rogue's phase here. We're picking up exactly where we left off. The three of you have managed to actually, I'm going to separate Aya. So Aya, you're because you weren't with the other two. The other two have gotten surrounded, and you're heading off in another way because you have to deal with Hex and a couple birds. They may be helping you. They may not. We'll find out about that. But there's like a greater distance between you because these brigands have like they're kind of forcing the group apart so they can't work together. The thunder. The thunder is that this the brigand that has escaped your grasp, the one that you had captured, is wriggling out of his bindings. I'm not sure why that's super dangerous, but we'll find out.
He's an important brigand.
Yeah, I'm going to hand the dice. Oh, I'm going to hand the dice to you, Aya. Show us how you find Nemo amongst the brigands.
Well, let's find out.
Oh, I got a quick question before you go on. I'm sorry. Sean, did you reincorporate?
I did not, so I'm putting in a moral right now.
Okay, all right.
I meant to, and then I didn't. Bringing one friend to your side may separate you from another.
That's good. Perfect.
Okay. Glum. Aya fixes her mirror. This is how she discovers this falsehood. She's been peering at the crack in it, and she brings the mirror close to her face and like inhales sharply, and we see the crack withdraw from the glass and instead spread over her face in a network of tattoos.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
So now instead of her mirror being cracked, it almost looks like she has a stained glass pattern across her face. And the mirror, in its repaired state, she looks into it and she sees, instead of Nemo being dead amongst the corpses as she saw before, she sees transparently through the glass Nemo wriggling out of his bindings across from her. And she just lowers the mirror and just stares over it at this brigand who's trying to escape. Phaedra, show us how you deal with this poisoner in our midst.
Okay.
Roll first.
Yep. Jovially.
Ooh. And it's a moral unless you reincorporate something.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So Phaedra's standing back to back with the Click Chick, and they're dealing with these the brigands that had been surrounding them and fighting them back quite nicely. When she sees the one that was tied up wriggling away, and she grabs to Click Chick's bag and whirls it at the one that's escaping, and something in it breaks and shards go into his back, and he twitches as the poison that had leached into Click Chick's bag coursed through his system, and he falls down dead.
Excellent.
So good. The poisoner is now the poisonee.
Yes, and death plunged into a brigand's back.
Wonderful. I think we're good ending it there. We've got our 2 reincorporations.
Yeah,
Everyone else agree?
reincorporated, yeah.
Boom. All right.
Yes.
It was 52 minutes.
I clearly am the weak link, or Strash is the strong link.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the case is.
It's good. It's good though. That was a great adventure. Awesome. Oh God! I'm loving the changes to these characters as they go along.
Yeah. It's not often you see characters in swords and sorcery things change this much. But.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Aya's thing. She's mutable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's go on break, and then we'll be back. Back for another one. We'll see you guys if I can click the thing. We'll see you guys if I can click check the thing. We'll see you guys.
God damn it.